following show may shock, disturb, and offend some viewers. The opinions, theories, and facts shared on this podcast are not widely accepted by the brainwashed masses, especially those who find dark humor offensive. Viewer discretion is advised.
Jeffrey Dahmer soaked in blood. The Unabomber blowing up. Waco, Texas, and Heaven's Gates. Aliens modified, men from apes. JFK shot in the head by the CIA. Bigfoot and the Mothman. Son of Sam talking to dogs again. Witches, ghosts, and goblins. Mysterious noise and hauntings. Dark arts in the skull and bones. Most celebrities are probably cloned. So if you're feeling all alone, crack a beer and get stoned. I welcome you to the podcast Strange Brew. We're here to entertain you. We're here to entertain you.
It's about to get strange.
I wish I had a frog costume like that guy that does like the the therapy. It's like he's
I
a
was
gecko.
expecting you to appear with some sort of frog thing on your head.
I know. I wish I can't. But I have a whole bin full of costumes. I should probably. My next goal is to get an SS uniform costume. Just kidding, everybody. Canceled. Welcome back, everybody, to the show. Welcome back. I'm your host, Tomcat, aka Tom Thompson, the Raptilian. You can check out my music on all music platforms. You could say I'm an amphibian type creature, maybe, like with my hip hop name, and even when I was just on Forbidden Knowledge News. This will come out a couple weeks, but people that watch this stuff live and you get it on YouTube and Rumble, we usually, as I've said, will go live for things before the weeks and sometimes before the audio comes out. And Chris labeled it Tomcat, but I was like, I might as well dig my feet into this Raptilian thing more. And people are like, why do you have that name? And I'm like, really? It started because of a joke. My buddy's like, I was Tom Thompson. I was negative way back in the day when I first started recording. Originally it was like TCP. It was terrible. Some of my hip hop names. Negative was because I rapped about everything negative. But it stuck because of a joke, because of a buddy at work was like, you should call yourself the Raptilian. And I was like, that's hilarious. And then, so I did.
I'll be honest. I think it's pretty good.
So, yes, it's not a beer. I quit drinking, but it's for energy and metabolism. I've been pretty much sober for like 2 weeks. I did have 2 beers at a work party. And we were outside on the patio, and I kept going off about the white genocide, and there was lots of people looking at us because there was like 10 of us at a table. Just making jokes.
Yeah, I'm just drinking plain old peppermint tea. I've just came back from having all my limbs broken and stretched and everything.
That's fun.
Yeah, but this is a really good way for me to decompress for an hour post-training. It's like I get to talk about my favorite person on earth, which is Frogman. And for everybody looking at the video aspect of this, I have my favorite t-shirt of all time on me right now.
So
some people probably see it says MILF,
yeah.
But it's not just a regular MILF. It's a...
Man, I love the Frogman. That's so funny.
Tell me that t-shirt is not badass.
So, and isn't that from the film that you said?
Yep.
That's hilarious. And obviously for all the fans out there, like, that have now heard the Kalergi episode, both parts and stuff like that, because we just released on audio time this comes out, like, I want to say again, right, that I know we have all fans of all walks of life, color, and creed, and I love all people. I really do, and people can take what they want from the things that we say on this show, but I'm going to point out things that are obvious all the time. Like, I'm not going to just shut my mouth because some people might find it offensive. The whole premise of this show was not for the easily offended. So, and we're going to bounce around from certain more serious topics to really fun stuff like this, the Frogman. Like, cryptids are always fun to get into. And I've heard about the Frogman for a while. Like, me and Billy talked about the Lizard Man. That should be all the time this is out. And the same kind of premise. So there's lots of stories of similar creatures. Do you remember the first time that you heard about the Frogman?
I feel like it was on some podcast, and I probably should give him a shout out, but I actually don't remember which one. But I remember just coming across it randomly on some like cryptid podcast, and at first I was like, wait a sec, have they just made up their own cryptid? If they just went like, let me see, like Frogman or Dogman or just something random, I was like, this can't be real. And especially when I found out isn't that Frogman? Isn't he a Marvel superhero?
Yes.
I wanted the figure of him.
That's hilarious. You can probably find it somewhere.
I don't know what it is. Like, people are going to think after this episode I have a fetish for fucking frogs or something. I'm actually going to get I was going to get a Frogman tattoo.
Of course you were.
Instead of the Terrifier one on my wrist. I was actually going to get the Frogman holding his wand with the sparks flying out of it.
Yeah, that's so weird. We'll get into that. Like, this is so bizarre, right? What's going on?
It's just so random. It's like a bipedal frog who carries a wand, and in some of the versions he has like this cloak with like this it has like these collars sticking up. Yeah, like that shit. Like, that's like my favorite thing ever.
It's so funny and kind of cute, right? And there's so many different cryptids. Like, when there's gonna be like a coon cryptid, Coon Man, and it's just like a raccoon. Like, there's so many weird ones. Eventually, like, I wouldn't mind getting the weirdest one I've ever heard of, and I think next year we should definitely cover this. Is it? I think it's called like the Gobbler. I don't know, something like it's a turkey cryptid.
Interesting.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah, I think I may have heard of that.
Terrifier is my homeboy. Yes.
Oh, there's the person who decided to Photoshop me with an afro.
Yeah, so funny. I should just post that. Just wait. You like that picture of us as the Bee Gees?
Oh, Bee Gees. You know what it made me think of?
It made you look terrible. It's like just because the guy's got like the buck teeth.
I meant to message you because I was like, if I was going to be any of those, that's probably who I'd be, because if I grew my hair, it would be like that kind of half bald. Like,
it kind of worked out perfect because Billy looks like the other guy kind of.
We should do that for Halloween. We should dress up as the Bee Gees.
Oh man, there's so many, because when I'm like, for all the fans, I throw together dumb art. I don't even care if like one person likes it. Like, it's a joke a lot of times. I have a couple more that I've thrown together of like us as people. And it's hard to find like trios of like people, and the Bee Gees was one that was like a trio, right? And as soon as I refaced it like and put our faces, I was like laughing my ass off. I was like, Jesus, too funny. It was actually ChatGPT that did that to you.
Of course. You didn't have anything to do with it then.
Don't trust ChatGPT either. It's owned by people that, I won't mention on this episode, but this is what I want my frogman to be like. A gentleman, a gentle frogman.
See, you know what I love about Frogman? I've seen so many different images and so many different styles of Frogman, and they all make sense to me now. Yeah, like that. That's, if I could be any superhero, I think I'd be Frogman. Like
Toad? You'd be like Toad. I actually kind of liked his character in the original X-Men. He's got the long like tongue. Storm shocks him.
In that first X-Men movie, isn't he in that?
Yeah. Remember that stupid line she does? Do you know what happens to a toad when it gets electrocuted? The same thing as everything else. And it's so dumb. And then she electrocutes him. So dumb. Yeah, the Frogman is a kind of a fun little cryptid. Like I said, we'll bounce around certain topics, and cryptids is always a fun one. I'm going to smoke some weed on this. I don't know if that's a good idea. I still have my Snoop Dogg pen from a long time ago, but
dude, like I can't explain how much I love Frogman.
Why do you love him so much?
I don't know what it is, dude. I'm like, it's just, to me, it's like the most bizarre. I think because he looks so fucking dumb. And then the fact that he carries a wand is my favorite part of it, because it just makes no sense. It's like, why?
You're a wizard, Frogman.
Yeah, it's like a frog standing on two legs that's the size of an average sized like child that has a wand that shoots sparks. And I'm like, what? Like, none of this makes sense.
Wingardium Levioso, and
You think you'd be right? Here's a question: do you think you would be scared if you came across Frogman?
Probably, yeah. It's a weird creature. We'll get into some of the stories, but eventually when we get to some of our tier lists that I'm very excited to do at some point, yeah, we will talk about which cryptids you would rather fuck. We're going to get into that. just because I think it would be very funny. But there's, which one would you, if you had to, we'll get to that when we get to that. I have some really fun ideas for live
I'll
streams.
ruin it right now. I'd fuck Frogman.
I'd fuck him so hard.
Yeah.
He'd bleed after.
Already would.
It just reminds me of when This Is the End. The guy breaks in the door and he's like, "You want me to tell you fuck you? I'll tell you fuck you so good, you'll love it." Oh.
I love that film so much.
It's so messed up. I miss James Franco, man. Bring James Franco back. I don't even care what he did. We have
He makes clothing now. He has a clothing line.
Weird, man. He disappeared off the face of the
it's
earth.
Really random, clothes. They I seen one where I can't remember where the guys were, some random place, and they went into some clothes shop, and he was just in there, and they were like, "Wait," I was like, "That's James Franco," and he was like, "Yeah, man, cool," and he's talking to them, some streamer, and they were looking around, yeah, and he was like,
"Didn't you sexually assault a woman?" Just
he was like, "Oh yeah, this is my clothing line over here," and he brings them over, and it's all one-off pieces. I think he had this thing that was an old NASCAR jacket or something
to hide babies in.
Put all patches on it and stuff, but it just seemed I know the shit that he supposedly have done, but it just seemed so wholesome. It was wow, he actually seems to care about talking about this thing that he likes.
It's sad when you realize that all the celebrities that you enjoy, I like James Franco as an actor. He's very funny. There's so many movies I love him in. Pineapple Express, The Interview, This Is the End. And I even watched that show Freaks from back in the day that he was on. And it's just sad because they're all connected to this dark stuff. Look at Danny Masterson and now it's so funny that they always use the covers and stuff, the cover of some of these organizations like Ashton Kutcher, his involvement, and Melina Kunis, their involvement in maybe child trafficking. So, it's crazy, some of the allegations. And then he was running a operation to help with trafficking, and then conveniently he may have ties to it. So once you start looking at this stuff, you're like, whoa. And we'll get into that stuff on a little more conspiracy-based episode, but we're talking about cryptids. I really think that some artists have made the Loveland Frogman substantially too frog-like. This is one of the more extreme examples. I think stuff where's that really? You have this and stuff like that, right? Where it's but we'll get into it because this is the drawing supposedly that the guy saw. So there's some weird drawings. Yeah, look at the cheeks on him.
Whoa. He's definitely doing his squats. Holy fuck.
Somebody, that's so weird. I'm going to have to make it. Someone in the chat, make a chat GP to make a sexy frogman. Loveland Frogman. And then send it to Aaron because I'm too busy controlling the show.
So, everybody out there, don't do some sort of reface where you make me Frogman. Please don't do it.
And then he'll just jerk off to it later. Oh man, if I and Frogman had a child. Before we get into this, because obviously there's all these different examples of Frogman. This is supposedly even connection to it, and me and Billy talked about this on the episode that will air sometime soon, of the Lizard Man, and they claim that was also Frogman. So there's so many different. That's definitely a guy in a costume, no doubt in my mind. Somebody made that.
Godzilla.
Look at the feet. How could you can't walk normally in the big tail and.
Oh, Godzilla!
It's a Godzilla. We can't say that, or it's copywritten or whatever from Austin Powers. Too bad Mike Myers a pedo. Yeah. Well, he is one of the first people to be maybe outed on the Diddy list. And then it's just convenient because he was with Mark Carney being look at how great Mark Carney is. He's the new Prime Minister of Canada. Go vote for this guy. He's going to help out all the boomers and all that shit. And then it's everyone loves Mike Myers, even though he hasn't lived in Canada for a long, long time. And then it comes out that obviously Mark Carney has connections to Ghislaine Maxwell. And then Mike Myers is named of going to the freak-off parties.
Why is everything like that round?
I know, isn't it? It would be funny if he showed up in an Austin Powers costume or the Dr. Evil. Did he made him do that? And that's how he would show off to the freak off parties.
It's actually the worst though. Literally everything I like.
I know.
Has been ruined.
It's true, man. Once you look into Hollywood, you realize why it's been ruined, right? We'll get into it at some point. But no, there's different artworks of him and these ideas. But obviously, there's books of mysterious animals, cryptids, the like, and the like, including different weird, unbelievable, ridiculous creatures. Among these is one of Aaron's favorites, the Loveland Frogman, sometimes called the Loveland Lizard. But that's just silly. a bipedal, vaguely reptilian animal similar to the size of a child and supposedly encountered several times in the vicinity of Loveland, Ohio, USA between 1955 and 1972. And there's be more stories that we'll actually get into that are a little more recent. But it's a very strange, because there's claims that maybe even it was like a gray type creature that it was actually the Greys, and that would explain like the weird wand thing. Maybe it was like they're trying to like make the portal, like they're one of those dudes and off of Doctor Strange, he's like,
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
he's got like a wand to do it, and it doesn't work in the rain, and it's like that's why it's sparking off.
I don't know. There's just I want a wand that shoots sparks. To be honest,
there's those
that makes it even better if he doesn't. Because I thought about this as well. The concept of, let's say he has a wand and he's not magic. That's even better. I'm like, just a wand that just makes sparks. So he's like a really shit magician. He can't actually do anything other than just like, he's like Ron Weasley.
Yeah.
Or like all he can do is like really shit magic.
He's like, come over here. And he does like the ball trick. I was like, where's the ball going? I'm trying to think what he would sound like. I'm sure like some weird, strange creature. But he's doing like the ball trick, but you can always guess because he actually sucks as a magician. You can see the roses in his like cuff.
I don't know which I prefer either. I don't know if I prefer cape or capeless Frogman.
Oh, it's cape. See
Ooh,
that thing? I like the cape because it's cute. He's like a little wizard man, and maybe he just escaped Harry Potter. But there's those Harry Potter wands that you go like this and like it shoots like a spark out. You can actually buy those. So you need to get it for the show.
I think I'm going to have to get that, and I'm going to have to get I had Anthony Cousins on the show who wrote and directed that Frogman movie. Yeah, and like he loves cryptids, so I think he's planning on continuing like doing other cryptids. And
that's cool.
I think I'll have to contact him and be like, "Hey, can you give me your Frogman costume from the movie so I can like cast spells on the show?"
So sweet. Temu Mexico. Is that how you say that? Temu. I never used it at the site. Mexican magician. Or like, what ethnicity would frogs be? I'm just kidding. We all know what lizards are, but we'll get to that later. What we would see is Aaron would get the wand, and then he would like be like, "Oh, on the show," and then we'd watch him frantically try to put out the fire that burns all of his thousands of dollars of horror merch.
Oh God Almighty!
I can just picture you panicking while the stream's still on, while everything's on fire.
Oh, it's like my worst nightmare.
All these things you accumulated in life that you'll never take with you when you die.
And I don't need. Yeah, I actually, I'm considering this year downsizing a massive amount.
Oh, that's a good one. The French, technically, would be like, I am a frog man. You come over here and you suck my uncut penis.
Ugh.
Yeah. Yes.
And suck my frog.
So obviously this is the Loveland Frogman is quite ridiculous. But there's different sightings, even some recent. The sightings describe a grayish bipedal creature. I remember when I told Billy I was like bipedal. He's like, what is he's like sexually, like he likes both? And this is like years ago. And I was like, no, it means a creature that stands on two legs. And he didn't know that. We were probably talking about some sort of cryptid or something. And he's like, so that the cryptid is like into guys and girls, right? And I was like, no, that's not how it works.
It does kind of sound like something like that, though, in fairness.
I know. It's a frog. Yeah, it's a frog. It's a frog-like head. I'll show up some pictures. Frog-like head, bulging eyes, leathery reptilian or amphibian type skin, standing at the height of 3 and 4 feet. The Loveland Frogman, or the Loveland Frog, has been discussed and revisited several times in the mystery animal literature. The tales recounted here have been previously published on Board and Board, 1989, Newton, 2005, Shucker? I don't know what the hell these are, but section on a case besides has wonderful illustrations. I think some of these are like some of these weird ones. Little frogman. I think I want to read these books. Yeah, strange creatures. It's like it's in some of these books, alien animals. And they talk about the frogman. Bipedals are into all sorts of weird bicycles. Yeah, this is what we're gonna get into. The three frogmen that the one, I think it's a cop witnesses. They actually got there on tandem bicycles. Like the tandem bike.
Mm-hmm.
I want me, you, and Billy to try to ride one day if we could ever get together and try to pull that off. And I could just picture.
Do you imagine how ridiculous looking that would be?
It'd be so weird. Like you have to really communicate, or one person is doing the work. It'd just be like, wouldn't it nice if we were older, then we wouldn't have to wait. So us is like riding across through all the burning civilization around us as the country collapses.
Just nuclear bombs and all stuff, toxic waste everywhere.
We're just happy that we're finally together. What's up, everybody? Edit some old-timey music in. I've always wanted to try a tandem bike, not going to lie. I think it would be kind of fun. We got Bigfoot in the chat. So, yeah.
Actually.
What? Have you ridden one?
Does Frogman have a dick?
I don't think can you look that up? I think they have a Quaco. Look up, do frogs have penises? I think they just come on the eggs. I'm pretty sure that's how frogs reproduce. Is they just fly by. Oh yeah.
No, most frogs do not have penises.
You nailed this out. So Mr. Cotton was calling you Aaron Strains on the Patreon. Just type out why you were calling him that so he understands, because I don't think Aaron saw the Patreon comment. So make sure to support the show on Patreon. That would mean a lot. I think let's try this out. I just want to see if this will work. It should show the comments as they come up.
There's a few exceptions. Some frog species have a tail-like organ that aids in sperm transfer.
Yeah, doesn't it? It's like a lot of the fish. They just like come on the eggs. The chicks just like there's no pleasure involved. The chicks just drop them, and then the guy just comes along and
ejected directly onto the eggs that the female lays. The ovaries of the female frog are beside the kidneys, and the egg passed down.
Just wait, everybody. The episode me and Billy did where we spent the last half an hour talking about his fun factors about a weird animal penis. And then we spent the last 20 minutes talking. I brought up an article about how different weird penises are. It's already on Patreon. That's where you support the show, because there's a lot of stuff that gets released there first. But yeah, it's coming out soon, and it's fairly funny. Oh, so it will pop up, and then I can maybe make it bigger. Yeah, that's cool. Us Bigfoots have a hemi-penis. Is that like a dog one that just kind of comes out?
As we would call it, a dog's Mickey. It looks like someone opening a lipstick where it goes like...
Yeah, disgusting.
Yeah, red lipstick.
It's funny you guys call it a Mickey, and that's what we call a little bottle of booze. We've had this conversation.
Oh, God.
So weird. I'm going to test out this chat. So if you guys all want to chat, you can. It'll show it right on the screen. So I'm just going to... It's
you don't have to press the button?
No, it's beta testing just to see, so you can have them all come up like in Twitch or whatever. So we'll see how that goes.
I show Frogman magic.
No, it's actually dual. Oh, what does it mean, dual? Explain. Oh, yeah, so you can fuck it the whole, and you can ride the hermaphrodite. Okay, I feel you. That's what Bigfoot has? Maybe. I want to talk about Bigfoot this summer. Sources that discuss the Loveland Frogman mostly recount the observation from this police officer, Ray Shockey, though spelt shock in some sources, who stopped a creature seen crossing the road at 1 a.m. on March 3rd, 1972. When it was cold enough for the road to be icy, Shockey's creature was in a crouching position, but then stood erect. Oh, sorry, I don't have any. I just wanted to. I don't even know.
What the fuck?
Too bad I didn't have I need a boing. Boing! So.
Damn, son.
So yeah, he saw him he became erect, and he stared into Shockey's direction before climbing the guardrail. The guardrail, not the guardrail. And this is this image.
I love the little thing up in the corner where it shows the frogman outline and then a human outline.
Oh yeah, this is how big they are. They do this a lot of this cryptid like pictures.
This is a man. This is a frog man.
So funny. Geckos have hemipenes if you want to see one. Look it up, Aaron. Look it up. Look up gecko penis.
Gecko peen.
So
Gecko penis.
Penis. They stared in Shocky's direction. He climbed the guardrail and of the road, and the ground sloped down into the Little Miami River. Other officers later came out to check Shocky's observations. This guy's like, so I saw a little frogman jump off the ledge. And it's like, I don't know what the fuck it was. It's like, all right, we'll go see.
What the fuck is?
Can you bring it up? Is it? It's not gonna be. You can't. It's not.
Dude, I'm not bringing that shit up. That's fucking disgusting. Like the fourth image is like prolapsed hemipene.
Did you mean gecko porn? What the fuck, Google? So yeah, and then he sees him. He's like, "What the hell?" So the more cops come. They're like, we're bored. We got nothing going on." Back before. Never mind. There's some talk of finding scratch marks on the guardrail. They supposedly there are scratch marks on the guardrail, but efforts to locate the photos verifying the presence of said scratches haven't been successful. So,
see, now that makes it a little bit different because obviously, if he has those goofy ass looking ET fingers, he can't leave scratch marks. So he's obviously got claws, and I've also heard reports of him having sharp teeth.
Yeah.
So that's kind of spooky as well. Like, I mean, if he looks like that thing behind your head right now on that image,
that would be scary, man.
And that shit pops out behind the guardrail.
He's like, "Hey, guy, you got a cigarette?" And he's like just staring at you with those eyes. I got accustomed to smoking cigarettes since I've been on this planet. Bigfoot brought me in his spaceship. I had to blow Bigfoot for $5 to get to this reality. Or for a free ride or whatever. Females leave scratch marks on the guardrails all the time, especially at the strip clubs with those long nails. Especially if they're black. A lot of black ladies love really long nails. I don't know how they wipe their asses, but maybe they got a thing. I'm trying to convince my wife to get a bidet so I don't have to wipe my ass no more. I can be like an Indian.
Is that what they do?
I heard someone likes that we make racist jokes, so that's fun. One guy's like, "I like that you guys push the boundaries and don't care." And it's not about like I grew up. It's just so funny when like even Chris Webby brings up this thing on one of his like rhymes. Is like I grew up making like jokes about like Jews and all this stuff or like black jokes, and he was like, "So you're gonna call me anti-Semite or all this stuff or whatever." Like a lot of the names of the label people. He's like, "This is the culture I was raised in." We watching South Park. Simpsons is a little more tame. Family Guy, like all these things where they made jokes like this, and then everyone's so offended nowadays that you can't even make up, you just can't like joke about anything or other people's cultures because everyone gets like, "Oh my God, that's racist." It's like, no, you're a cultural Marxist cuckold. That's what you are. Mr. Cotton, you still didn't explain why you call Aaron Strains. What if I had sticky fingers like a tree frog? That would be a fun attribute, actually. Yeah,
but wouldn't that be shit as well? Because like if I like touch something and I'm like,
oh yeah, like Spider-Man, that movie where he's like starting to stick to everything. You have to be able to control it because you can't really live that well. And that's just I was thinking about something else while we were mentioning that. It just made me think of Sticky Fingers from Onyx. I'm a Sticky Fingers. It's like I always liked Onyx. Boys will be boys, right?
Yeah, Sam. I used to
let the boys be girls, trannies. You know that song? It's a new version.
Nice.
Chris Webby, not only the best rapper alive, but the best white rapper. I like Chris Webby a lot. He's pretty dope, actually. Like he's got some nice rhymes, and he calls out all this stuff. And albino Sasquatch, could you please have an albino? So can you please refrain from anti-white slurs like racist or anti-Semite? Thank you. The white Sasquatch or Yeti is that you got your own brand, right? Gonna break my jaw when I find out he's Jewish. Who's Jewish? The Frogman? Oh, no, Chris Webby is Italian. He kind of looks Jewy, but he's definitely Italian. A pencil drawing of the Loveland Frogman made by Ray Shockey. What a name. This is the image. Though it's been able to confirm it, I found it online to see, but the attributes are very, like, they're various online of what it looks like, but this is supposed to be the real one. The artist evidently had quite some skill. I don't know if you call that skill. I could easily draw that. An account similar.
My feet.
Yeah. Account similar to Shockey's was made by another police officer, Mark Matthews. 2 weeks later, 2 cops. And me and Billy, it's not yet time this went on audio. It will be. It's so confusing. Me and Billy talking about the fuck in the future, the Fuckville Metal Man, and then one cop saw this Metal Man in Fuckville. It's a fun place to pronounce. And he was like ridiculed for a long time. Like, and just, he had to like move and all this stuff, and it's sad,
I still just can't get over my love for Frogman. Also, cops seem to see these things a lot.
I know. And then it's like, they're pretty credible people. Are we sure it's not Frogman with those legs? Oh yeah, look at those legs. Aaron wants to get those wrapped around him.
Surely do. I surely do.
Aaron's new nickname should be Aaron Strains because of the last strain of hair he held on to. He said it was embarrassing. On the 7 years of strangeness, you're talking clutching the last strain of hair that you have.
That is scummy. That's such a scummy thing to say.
Just pull it off like Phil Collins and wear some sort of cult leader outfit, and then walk up a stage and enter the podcast. Just, too bad he looks fucked now.
That's so scummy. I can't believe that someone would say that about me.
So Matthews was concerned as the creature stood up from a crouch stance and fired his gun at it. He's like, "Holy fuck, what is that shit?" And he was like, just pew pew, just like firing gunshots at him. It was so weird.
I feel like I'd probably try and shoot Frogman, I think, if I did have a gun.
And then you have all the reptilians after you.
All rise for the reptilian anthem.
Even scarier. You shoot a Frogman, right? And you damage his webbed fingers or something, and he falls over the guardrail, and then you drive up the road a bit, and then there's multiple Frogmen all jumping out over the guardrail, running after you, running like the T1000 in in fucking T2, where he's going like, they're all running like that behind the car.
Dude, that's actually scary. They could hop around too, like hop on your car, and then they're like, like right at your face,
sticking onto the fucking windshield.
Oh yeah.
You ever touch the frog?
Yeah, we used to catch toads and stuff, and they're like, "You're gonna get warts," and I'm like, "That's not how it works." But we used to think that. We used to catch frogs and snakes.
Weird.
Yeah, you're running away from all these, and then it's never gonna get old.
They're jumping every time they jump.
Yeah, imagine you come up and you're like, it's at the car, and it's just like right in your face. God, so funny.
You know what that needs to be? Remember before we used to use that censor button every now and again just to be funny? Or it was like,
I know.
You should use that to, like, if somebody says something they shouldn't say, you should just play that.
Yeah. What's with up all these? I actually said something really offensive.
So instead of doing that, you should just have Billy scream.
Yeah. They were so funny. There was a time where I didn't know you could add it so it would cut all the audio. I just had a bleep button, and then because we would joke about like not being able to say the word retard, and we tried to like dance that line when we started the show, especially when we started filming, because we wanted to exist on YouTube. But YouTube definitely censors us to some extent. We're still getting out there, but we're definitely shadow banned. And I remember using it a couple times, and Billy's like, "Yeah, that didn't cut the audio." And I was like, "Oh fuck," we're like live, and I'm saying all this absurd shit. So yeah, another cop sees this and encounters this animal, shoots at it, this creature on the road. It's seen from a patrol car. Matthews was concerned as this creature stood up and from a crouch stance and fired his gun. Yeehaw, America! And seemingly injured the animal. Again, it climbed out of sight over the guardrail. So 2 people see this creature just chilling on the side of the road with them luscious big old cheeks. and then just bolts off.
Those are some cheeks.
Someone's got to create this image on ChatGPT and then send it to me, please. strangerpodcast@gmail.com. Actually, like quite a few people do actually email us. Or Instagram. I'm the most active. X is a weird thing. Some people like X. I'm still trying. Every time I post something controversial, people are like, I like this. He's talking about multiculturalism, whatever. He's got a peach on him. It's like Bigfoot. There's so many drawings of like they've sexualized Bigfoot, man. Next.
Yeah.
I bet you if you look up the Frogman, everything's been sexualized. I wonder why though. So we'll get into that when we talk about who owns the porn industry. I'm going to start looking at that. Who owns Frogman?
Is there Frogman porn?
Google it right now. It's got sexy quicker than I thought it would be talking about human-sized frogs. Well, Aaron loves him, man. Imagine you see this out, you're gonna you see this. This is supposed to be a picture of him. A lot of people are like, that's just a thing that's reflecting off the camera that's sitting in the water.
No, wait.
Can you bring it up, or is it that bad?
No, I won't get to bring any of this up. But wait, no, you might have to get the censor button here for some of the stuff.
Why? What does it say?
I could just go for it, right?
Yeah, just who cares?
So I typed in Frogman porn and it comes up. Frogman porn, Frogman gay porn seems to be a big one. So Frogman might actually be gay. Big Frogman comes in redhead MILF's mouth.
Jesus.
Frogman struggles against basement Frogman fuck.
There's like Grinch stuff, there's everything, man. It's fucked. People are messed up.
Whoa.
What?
Not for me.
You're not gonna say it?
Yeah, I'm just looking at some of the images of this stuff. I don't know what this is, but not good. It's like something to do with gimps.
Lily pads, yeah. Oh, that's so weird.
Ooh, they're doing like a gimp mask with like a gas mask.
I think that they should make it way harder to access all of that stuff. It's just crazy how kids have such access to it instantly. And
it's scary, to be honest.
Yeah, it is scary. Like I remember my buddy, he found this weird one called like 89.com. We're like 13, and he's like, check this shit out. And he was like, it was like amputee shit. And I'm like, why the fuck are you looking at that shit, man? And he's like, it's just fucked. I found it. It's not fucked up. And I was like, yeah, it's like, why are you looking at this in your shit? It's so weird.
Oh, weird. They even have those like, those weird like cartoon shit. I don't know what you call it, where they like make all those sexy cartoons.
Oh yeah, of course.
I don't know what you call it.
Rule 34 or whatever. It's like anything that it exists can be made into porn. It's fucked.
Yeah, I always see shit like that pop up.
Porn is a weapon for sure.
Weird, like fucking unicorns with like big, massive dicks and stuff.
It's so fucked. Like
there's ones here, and there's like Frogman with fingers stuck up his ass and stuff.
Redhead's fucking Frogman go back centuries. It's true. Or like the idea of like kissing the frog and then he turns into a fucking prince. Is that like shapeshifting reptilian stuff? And it's like, I do think that, yeah, porn is a weaponized psychological warfare on the people. Do you know and that's what they do. Like, they liberated, I think in Libya or something. What was it? What the country? They did this to Palestine too, which is weird. In the West Bank, they like broadcasted porn all over the TV. They did this when they liberated another country. It's like, oh, you're liberated now. Here's your porn. Make sure your children see it. It's fucked. But you know who all owns that stuff and who's conveniently all the regional enemies of a certain country have been wiped out except for one. So
before we move on, there just
yes. You gonna show me some?
You can't ask me any questions. You just have to bring it up.
I don't know how long we can show that. Especially on YouTube. That's fucked. It's like, is he eating her ass or something?
Yeah, or he's like sticking his frog fingers up. That'll probably feel really good actually, because it'll be all wet and stuff, and the top of him has like a bulb, it's like ET.
Oh yeah.
Chicks would probably love that.
It's true. All the frogs I've kissed just turned to bestiality charges. Just wait for that. We got some stuff coming. I want to do some fucked up news stories at some point. And there's so much of that stuff. There's like still states where it's legal. It's weird.
I once was a frog.
Yes. Aren't the who? Oh, that's the French. I think the French. Another of Shocky's frog encounters. This time showing a creature with, and they literally say it in the article, a very sumptuous is I guess a word you can use for it, butt, a sumptuous butt, and disturbing human-like physique. The image is widely available online. Still can't find the artist's name. But Matthews later claimed that none of this was accurate. He actually seen a big lizard, an escaped pet iguana. So he changed his story. He said he saw this thing fired at it, and then he mistaken a 3-foot tall bipedal creature standing up on 2 legs as a frogman, and then said it was an iguana. And he augmented the story as a way of making his colleague Shockey seem like less of a nut. He's saying, like, that's crazy. Like, well, he said he saw a frogman. I want to make him feel better because everybody at the precinct was just harassing him, putting on frog costumes, putting frogs in his locker to scare him. And then I was like, you know what? I also saw the frogman. I wasn't lying. And he's like, I shot at a frogman. And he's like, later on, he's like, I actually made that up.
That's what they want you to believe. I think the frogman's real. I think they did see the frogman.
You're gonna find him. It would be crazy if he was some sort of like shadow creature, like, and just appears in your dreams and stuff. And so I really like the deep investigation of this account provided by Ryan Humpht for the I'm not gonna even name the podcast, fuck them. It provides lots of additional information and clearly substantially more reliable than recountings of events provided in standard cryptozoology. The paranormal themed website and publications states that what appears to be an email confession from Matthews, whereby the account was dismissed as blown out of proportion, though its authenticity, the confession appears to originate from this 2001 article from X Paranormal Project magazine is doubtful. An implication that a big lizard might have been seen must also be considered doubtful in the view of icy conditions and cold temperatures of the time. So a lizard would be hiding somewhere, not out and about. Apparently there's a sketch accompany either Shockey's or Matthew's account. Through this text combined both of the accounts. I assume it's a pencil one share like this one. A local farmer also said he seen the Loveland Frogman shortly afterwards, but the details are hazy. What's up, everybody? Has anyone ate frog legs in the chat? Because I have not, and I refuse to. There's a place I can go to.
Comment and I was like, oh.
I've heard it's like chicken. It's like chicken.
No, anyone that eats frog legs, that's Mr. Cotton, who also was making fun of my bald head, so I can't. I can't fuck with you. You're killing my people. You're making fun of my bald head.
What's up with that? Remember that story of the Toad Man? That always reminds me of, Mr. Toad. You remember that? Mr. Toad seemed pretty cool.
Mr. Toad?
Look up Mr. Toad right now and bring him up on screen while I go through this.
I'm going to become like the producer of this podcast.
Well, it'd be nice if someone would do something. I know Billy does nothing, but
oh yeah, I do remember him.
Bring him up on the screen, Mr. Toad. Man, he's a pleasant chap. He was on some show or something that I used to watch.
It was like Mr. Toad's Wild Ride. No,
went to a Japanese restaurant once and ordered frog legs. Miss Honey, as they called it. Is that actually Miso Honey? Is that actually what they call it? Do you want some Miso Honey? Frog legs taste
everything
like
like an Indian. I don't like when you do anything else.
Remember, every time you're from the spot, I can't do it. Oh, Mr. Honey. That's like still Japanese. Yeah, don't you remember that?
I do remember him.
The Adventures of Mr. Toad. I used to watch that.
Toad.
Yeah, look at him. He seems very, look at, he's all mushrooms in that one. He's all hypnotized.
Mr. Toad's Wild Ride.
Yeah, I remember that. So weird.
Oh, Steve Coogan, John Cleese. Weird.
Well, I'm going to watch that now. Aaron, you should watch it and you can jack off thinking about the Toad Man.
Weird, man.
Frog
I forgot that even existed.
Yeah. Things that my memory jogs in. Look at, he looks like a
scary boy.
A fine little gentleman. He's making a joke about the song Me So Horny. Oh, that is actually so funny. I actually fell for it. I thought that you were like legitimately, I don't know, the Japanese. Maybe they have a thing. They have like the soup of some young guy is like a real soup you can get. This is the movie. Don't ruin it for me. I don't want to see anything.
Dude, I'm telling you, it's such a good movie.
Oh, we're taking off screen. I'm going to have to watch this for Class Horrorcast for all the people. So get ready for that. The Wind in the Willows. Yes, that's where he's originally from. I'm gonna go watch that. The Rumble app sucks. It censors chat notifications on streams. I know. That's what's weird about Rumble. Someone will be like, they send notifications through emails and it'll be like an hour later or something like that. Everyone just watch out for the lives because we go live all the time. Fraga's DNA tested. Turns out was part Irish, part British, and a tadpole. I like that. That's a good joke. Should bring up some frog jokes. So this is so funny. The oldest Loveland Frogman story predates the 70s ones and concerns of a sighting made in Ohio. I'm gonna play some. So I want to hear the music and my tones. The one sighting made on the Ohio roadside during the early morning of May 25th, 1955. The story goes that a businessman or salesman, sometimes said to be unknown, sometimes specifically identified as Mr. Robert Honeycutt. Honeycutt was driving home from work when, at 3:30 a.m., the witching hour, he saw these three bipedal grayish reptilian creatures, each about 3 foot tall. The witness stopped and observed them, and for a few minutes, in some of the versions of the story, the creature was seen to be conversating. He was having a conversation. The creatures were, all three, I guess, of these creatures. In some reserved, some of them were under a bridge, and others they held a cylindrical or wand-like device above its head. Its released sparks and was frightening enough that it inspired the witness to leave.
Oh, pretty good.
So yeah, this is the guy that witnessed three of them, and they're just like, that's what I picture they sound like.
You think?
Or it's like ribbit. It starts sitting. I just picture like you hear that, you hear like ribbit, and then you're just like, what the hell's that? And it starts running at you like fucking a maniac. So
What?
scary. Why do you look it up? I believe the story 100%. What are you looking up?
What is the purpose of Frogman's wand?
Oh, that's a good idea. So yeah, we'll get into that, and then we'll get into the next story, which should be fun.
Oh, okay. So here's loads of information.
Okay.
I'm
just gonna keep smoking weed.
One of the strangest aspects of the Loveland Frogman legend is his wand. So what's the deal? In the original 1955 sighting, the unnamed businessman reported seeing 3 humanoid frog-like creatures near blah, blah, blah. One of them, he claimed, was holding a wand-like device that emitted sparks or flashes of light. That's the only sighting where the wand has appeared, but it's one of the details that catapulted the story from weird animal to full-blown paranormal cryptid. So here are some theories about the wand's purpose. Number 1, some sort of tool or communication device. Maybe not a literal wand, but something technological like an alien gadget, signaling beacon, or a scanning tool. The sparks could have been energy discharges or signals. Number 2, evidence of a supernatural and magical element. To some cryptid enthusiasts, the wand suggests a cult or fey-like behavior. The frogmen aren't biological creatures, but entities tied to another dimension or realm. The wand becomes a mystical totem. Number 3, it's an alien artifact. Giving the wand's light-emitting behavior, something the frogmen could be an alien explorer or biological assistant wielding tech far beyond human misunderstanding. Number 4, a misinterpretation. Skeptics say the wand was likely a stick with reflective material, a spark from a lighter, or just a product of imagination. The entire event could be misunderstood in poor lighting. I mean, you would want to be pretty, the lighting would want to be pretty obscure for you to miss, like, see something and go, oh yeah, I saw a giant frog that had like a wand in his hand and he was wearing a cloak. Like, I don't think I've ever been in any lighting circumstance.
And they were conversing. This is the 3 of them where they're like hanging out and shit.
Weird, man. The purpose of the frogman's wand is yet unknown, but it adds a mysterious, almost mythological layer to the cryptid. Whether tech, magic, or metaphor, it turned the frogman into something more than just a weird animal sighting.
Yeah, it is a really bizarre thing. What does Kermit the Frog's finger smell like? Bacon. Frogman can jump higher than Jordan, but was Frogman at Diddy's party? You know what's funny? You know who Aesop Rock is? Not garbage Aesop Rocky. Aesop Rock.
No.
He's a pretty famous hip hop artist. He does a song called Long-Legged Larry. And it's all about a frog that is like a humanoid frog. Long-Legged Larry. He does weird songs. He has a song called Kirby. Go Kirby. Yeah, it's about his cat. So he's an interesting artist, and he has a song about Long-Legged Larry, and it's about a frogman who like saves kittens from trees and stuff. You should look it up. Long-Legged Larry, everybody. It's actually a pretty fun song. Yeah, dimensional entities, maybe they're self-transforming machine elves who did... Yeah, maybe. Because you never know, man. Imagine seeing a frogman on DMT. That'd be fucking scary. Yeah. Because there's other stories, like an iguana is, like, walking over... Because it may be a frogman. They say it was, like, a lizard man. Like, I don't know how you could mistaken, you know...
But yeah, but I even seen people saying, what was it I seen people saying about it? What is the... Let me just get this up.
Yeah, let's talk about this one. Post 1972, the Loveland Frogman has been rare. There's a 2016 event where 2 teenagers were out playing Pokemon Go. Apparently, this isn't a sexual euphemism. That's so stupid. Supposedly saw and even photographed what appears to be a creature. But it looks like a hoax. But I think this is the one that they claimed. I doubt it. Very strange. Like they said, what?
The Pokemon Go one, there's the video.
Really? Did you have it?
I don't have it, but I could probably get
Pokemon Go Loveland Frogman. Just look it up. That one was weird because they claimed to actually have seen this, and they're like, no, it wasn't a Pokemon. It was like off of the screen. You know, and I'll tell when Pokemon Go first came out, I was working at a bar, and it was kind of fun for the beginning because it was just cool. And I've told the story on the show before that we'd go out and it'd be like just after we left the bar.
Same.
It'd be like 11 or 12 a.m. and we'd be like kind of drunk, and me and my buddy would go around, and there would just be people all in the park. And my buddy made a point. He's like, well, you know, if there's a sexual assault, at least all these nerds would be there, not to do anything, but to call the police at least. Because literally at like 1 a.m., especially in the summer, everyone was just walking around like downtown and stuff like that. And it was kind of cool to see, and especially if you're buzzing and you're like, look, I found a Charizard or whatever. Billy was obsessed with it for a long time. I only played it for like a month or two because it was like, oh, this is kind of cool and different. And we all grew up doing Pokemon. But he made a good point. It's like all these nerds out, and it's like, hear a scream, call the police. I know they don't have arms strong enough to fight off a rapist, but you know.
Oh no.
Did you find the video?
Yeah, the video is garbage, but we'll look at it anyway. Check this out first. So this is supposed to be his images.
Oh yeah, this one I have right here. Yeah. Yeah, it looks like a lawn decoration with light bulbs on it.
I don't know what the fuck that is.
Weird. Is that the footage though? That's it? Weird.
No, hold on. So,
oh, I've seen this.
Supposedly the footage.
Why would it have glowing eyes? Garbage. It's in the water. It
moved though at the end.
Yeah, no, that is weird.
I don't like that.
Yeah, that's cool. Our stream came up on the Loveland Frogman thing at the end of where.
Oh, did it?
Yeah, that's cool. That's hilarious.
Oh yeah, it did too.
That's wild. YouTube recommend us. We don't get much attention. Explain the Loveland Frogman, or trying to, given several particularities of the 1955 three creature account. It's not surprising that some authors have sought to identify Loveland Frogman as an alien rather than an unknown, you know, or rather than an alien, maybe not some creature from planet Earth. Assuming that the Loveland Frogman accounts represent the actual observations and explanations mooted by some authors, that's a weird way to say it, and they could be confused descriptions, escaped pet iguana or some sort of lizard. This is hard to accept given the bipedal posture that witnesses report. maybe it is a reptilian. Might consider the big lizard in a fleeting bipedal or erect standing pose. Witnesses this embellishment of the story, confusing resulting details, different descriptions, the temperature of the time. These fleeting glimpses of big escaped lizards were overtly or deliberately combined in the minds of the witnesses with prior knowledge about the big frog monsters already said to inhabit the Miami River region. But it is creepy. Have you ever been like around, maybe a swamp, but like a lake, and you hear like, I can't even do it. But you know that like guttural sound they make sometimes, like the frogs. Have you ever been to like a cottage in Canada?
Yeah.
I'm sure Ireland has frogs.
Also, do I sound like dog shit?
You sound great to me. Why?
Oh no, I just thought when I clicked on that thing when it recommended it, it sounded like I was talking through a trash bag.
No, it's not. My end sounds good. The movie Kung Fu Hustle, the frog boss, more human than frog though. That's actually a good movie. Isn't that a comedy movie? It's like a Japanese fighting movie. I actually like that one. So you obviously have the lizard man that we saw, the picture that we showed up. Show some frogs already. We have been the whole time. Do we just want to bring up pictures of frogs? I've been waiting hours. Bigfoot beats. Beats on what? Here, I got for you, buddy, because I think you just joined the stream. I hope you enjoy this one. I hope it gets added to your spank bank. I hope you enjoy it. Big old cheeks on that Frogman. Clarence Frogman. So this also worth noting is the 1950s were the time that amphibious fish creatures were depicted on the big screen, so you could say that too, actually. Obviously, Creature from the Black Lagoon premiered in 1954, and that's where you have these people that put maybe these images in their head and have inspired people, consciously or not, to think or pretend that they may have seen and or encountered some sort of frog-like creature. It is surprising what Hollywood can do, right? Convince everybody of fabricated historical events because they pointed to some shoes or something, Frog fetish. Somebody out there definitely does. He's a joker. He does music too. I told him to stop by and say hello. Oh, that's awesome. I appreciate that. We have a question?
No, you said something about frog fetish. Somebody probably does.
Would you be down for like the scaly skin and shit?
No, but isn't it all like squishy and like wet?
I guess.
Slime?
Like a vagina. I guess so.
Yeah, we said that frogs don't have penises. Are all frogs the same then?
Yeah, I think you'd have to come on the egg. There's no pleasure involved. There's just some place.
The frogs have vaginas though.
Yeah. Well, but with their tongue, yeah, that's a good licking. That'd be good for a chick, Get right in there. Do it from across the room,
Run into a creature.
I ran into a creature once. I didn't realize it was from the Black Lagoon until I noticed my wallet was missing. Oh, that's hilarious.
Oh God Almighty!
Do you know who Old Greg is?
Sounds familiar, but I can't say I do.
Look up Old Greg and look it up now on YouTube, and then look it up in the clip of it on YouTube, and we'll bring it up. Just while we're talking about this, we'll probably get a little copyrighted or whatever. So
I'm not going to this up on YouTube, is it?
Yeah, actually, don't do that. It'll ruin the audio. Just look up an image of him.
What am I looking up?
Old Greg. I'm Old Greg. What you doing in my waters? What you doing in my waters? Everyone look up Old Greg. If you don't
You're talking about Old Greg from the Mighty Boosh.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I didn't.
Why are you in my waters? It's like, do you love me? Can you learn to love me? It's like, you filthy mother liquor. Why do you have your like?
The legend of Old Greg.
Yeah, so funny.
Yeah, we talked about this before, actually.
It's too funny. People that don't know, definitely look up Old Greg. If you take it more serious, obviously the idea of Honeycutt and the other alleged witnesses saw real animals and misidentified them. That's a possibility. They saw big reptiles to be considered quite unlikely. So who knows? I'm all Greg. Yeah, isn't that funny? He's like a frogman type creature. That's scary. Imagine seeing that shit though. Imagine you're on the side of the road. He's a tranny too. Why is he wearing a skirt?
I don't know. I don't like it anymore.
I'm old Greg. Pleased to meet you. So far, so dumb.
That show was so good.
I've never watched it. I've only seen clips of old Greg. Interesting.
That show was
so strange. So yeah, and then so all these accounts, and how could they mistake them for like humanoid bipedal since their bodies, hind limbs, and snouts merged into invisibility? I came up with the idea after seeing a scary roadside bipedal with a round body, wide neck, slender legs, morphed it into a deer as a car. As I approached type house, so weird. I don't know what the fuck this guy's talking about. Just making up shit in his head. Obviously, there's other books that have come out talking about this and the confusing reports of these monster creatures reported in like 1993. And then the existence of, meter-tall bipedal creatures has regarded as fairly unlikely, especially with those reptile creatures are seen with a mechanical device, with the wand that it emits. Like, some people think it's like a tall iguana creature. So weird. What is that thing, man?
That's fucking horrifying, I'll be honest.
It's like, it reminds me of like how it's trying to grab you, like off the movie Men, where he has the slit arm and it goes around her neck. Scary. Like, there's no way. How are you going to mistake in these creatures? Look at that thing at the back. It's like all of, like, I don't know. Maybe if it was like leaned up against it, but it still makes no sense. I would never want to live in the Jurassic Park times or Jurassic.
No.
If it sounds scary and crazy, especially that, and even if they exist. Who knows if they even exist, man? People think it's like that the bones are not real, and or if they are, they could be human bones. There's so many like different theories about like, did dinosaurs exist? People are like, we found bones. Well, there's theories that supposedly they're like giant humanoid bones and stuff like that. Also, they probably had feathers. They could have they claim that there's people that claim that they rearranged the bones wrong. So it's not like the T-Rex doesn't look like this. It probably has wings and stuff like that. And who knows? Imagine a giant flying T-Rex would be wild.
Did you get any of the stuff about like some of the wild theories of what people think the Frogman is?
No, if you want to get into that. No, it's funny. Someone on the show, someone came in the chat when I had that guy from Update Knowledge or Update News. Or whatever. Troy set it up. I had him on the show. Interesting guy. We definitely don't see eye to eye about certain issues that are going on in the world, or the fact that I don't think Canada's stolen land. I think that all land on Earth is stolen and been conquered on. So that was an interesting pushback and stuff like that. Because usually the people that I have on the show I kind of vet to some extent or know them. But like someone obviously from his side came in the comments and was like, naming a conspiracy show after a comedy movie is stupid. And I'm like, Strange Brew, the movie, was based off of a conspiracy theory that they go into the brewery and find out they're making beer for mind control. So I was like, this person, like, I'm like, you're just going to get blocked and deleted. They kept trying to like chirp in the chat. And I'm like, people like you're not doing anything but sitting here watching my show, right? Watching our show. And then you're doing that with your life. Even though you're claiming you don't like it or you think it's stupid. And it's like, that's the dumbest thing. And I was like, you know why it started? Because we were two Canadians that joked around like Bob and Doug McKenzie and drank on the show. And then Strange Brew was like, when I watched it, I was like, it's a whole idea of conspiracy theories and all that stuff, right? And I'm like, this person knows nothing. Yeah, good old Troy boy. Yeah, dragons too. Are dragons real? Imagine if the dinosaur bones were dragons, okay? And dragons were real.
What about Puff the Magic Dragon?
Puff the Magic Dragon, he lives by the sea. He drinks human blood and comes on your feet. I don't know. Someone's doing that out there. Yeah, like chicken bone. I don't know. There's so many weird things. It's easy to find bones. Me and my buddy would hike south Drumheller into the military base. Crazy, easy way to walk in. Bones and endless teeth, vertebrae, legs. Clearly sized proportionally. Weird. Well, I think that they could have made the dinosaur, like built the bones wrong. Because all the bones are supposed to be in like a museum or whatever. Like the Smithsonian. They hide them. They don't actually put them out on display. Those are all fake. So weird. Was there a bucket that said KFC or Popeyes nearby? Yeah, it's true. We all know who'd be sitting there hunched over in the corner eating those chicken wings. Do you know what's crazy? So I heard this story, and I heard it like people are like, "No, it's actually true." Okay, so the people that they get to monitor X or Twitter at the time, I think it was Twitter at this time, right? There was a bunch of people in like Africa monitoring Twitch for like hate speech or some of the absurd stuff, right? And they were supposed to be stationed in Africa, and this is like a real story that you can look up. And the people that were paying them would pay them like $1.50 like a day. It was something ridiculous, and they could choose between $1.50 or KFC chicken, and they would feed Black Africans that are monitoring Twitter KFC, paying them that way. Isn't that fucking crazy?
That's got to be bullshit, right?
I know. I heard it's real. I heard it's there's articles done about it.
If that's the case, that's wild.
Have you seen the trailer for a live action How to Groom Your Dragon? Like now they have Lilo, Stitch, and all that stuff. Everything's got to be fucking redone because of Hollywood. Vertebrae 8 inches across, teeth 10 inches long, legs. Weird. You found that? Weird. That's a strange thing. Yeah, some giant chickens or lizards from it could be that could be true, like too. Imagine like the time like Land of the Lost.
I'm gonna clear it up now for everybody. The Frogman is real.
That's it. Is real.
He
is real. Made it in a laboratory.
Speaking of that, actually, so here are some of the wild, weird, and wonderful theories that people think about the Frogman. These all go beyond the 3 frog dudes by the river. So the first is the Frogman is an escaped government experiment. So some people believe that the Loveland Frogman is part of a secret military bioengineering project gone wrong, a human-animal hybrid designed for amphibious espionage. The one seen in the 1955 sighting, possibly a control device, or worse, a weapon. Operation Leapfrog sounds dumb until you remember real programs like MK Ultra.
Yes.
And the fact that weaponized dolphins also existed.
Well, until the Pakistanis raped them out of existence, right?
Yes.
That happened. The pig dolphin, they're almost extinct now. That's a real fucking thing.
It's
funny because they always say it's like, oh, it comes from like, you know, like a laboratory. Like when me and Billy talked about the melon heads. You know, and it's like the melon heads were like, oh, these escaped retards from like a facility that they were like experimenting with children on. They had like cephalitis or anything where their skull, like the guy in the wheelchair from Hills Have Eyes.
Yeah, he's all like,
yeah,
right, it's fucking gross.
Yeah, and it's like that, and they escaped and like got into a car and then drove away, and it's like imagine seeing those like creatures. For all the people that haven't listened or seen some of those episodes, they're on YouTube and stuff. It's very funny. Me and Billy were in the studio together. We're like, this is where we're like, we gotta dance the boundaries and not make so many jokes about mentally handicapped people. Because I have been called an ableist on this show. Like at the beginning of the show, somebody called on, I think it was Apple Podcast. The host is an ableist piece of trash, is what I've been called. It's fun times.
Do you want to hear another?
Those dolphins shouldn't have been wearing pink. What is Battletoads? I'm gonna have to. Can you? You're
gonna have to
look that up. You have to look that up too.
Don't remember that? No.
No, you have to bring it up.
NES game.
Canadian chicken to save the ostriches. Yeah, I know the ostrich shit is wild. They're trying to kill all the ostriches here in Canada. It's great times. I think they're gonna disrupt the food sources soon and stuff. It's gonna be fun. Oh, that's cool. Can you still get this? Why don't you get this like on a mobile game? I don't remember that. I kind of do. It's like a faint memory. I remember that action figure actually. So Battletoads. That's hilarious. Forgot about things like
actually pretty cool artwork, to be fair.
I missed the 90s.
I had one of those toys.
You know what's funny?
I didn't even know what it was.
You know how you're saying you were watching Game Boy? You know, I remember you say you were watching like the YTV like Halloween thing. I tried to find. I don't think I found the same one. Would you look up like Halloween?
Yeah.
I looked up. I saw some of them, and yeah, I was like, I understand why it made you depressed. It's just sad. Like even the commercials, I'm like, we're never getting that back, man. It's gone.
Misery.
Our children never get it back. We live in this like
puberty blockers and sex changes and all coming up
Yeah,
on
it's
your
brainwashing, cultural Marxism, hate your ancestors, let everyone invade your country and assault your women.
advertising.
It's so bad.
Another interesting theory on the Frogman is that he's an alien scout that had a malfunctioning cloak. One fringe theory says that the Frogman is a grey alien using biological camouflage. The frog-like body is either his real form or the result of a failed cloaking system. The wand from the first sighting, a scanning or communication tool to get back to his ship.
That's interesting. Maybe, right? Like it would make sense more that he's maybe an alien. Like supposedly the reptilians have done all these weird experiments, right? Like there's the theories that they created the Greys as like animatronic type of like cyborg androids that they can use to come into this reality, because it kind of like there's that treaty supposedly that they're not supposed to mess with a evolving species, and then so they like create like all these different like gray like creatures, maybe the frogman, and then they can infiltrate our society, and then people see this. Yeah, as the frogman is gay. We did clarify that, right? Because he's turning the friggin' frogs gay, and so like all the frogmen are gay, right? I'm assuming that's what they're all like huddled together. They're all like on a circle jerk.
Another one is the wand was actually a magic staff, tapping into Appalachian and Celtic folklore. Some claim that the Frogman is a fey creature or river guardian, the wand being a staff of protection or transformation. The sparks, a magical warning to stay out of the certain sacred areas in the river. So basically a frog Gandalf.
Oh, that's sweet. I like the wizard idea.
We
don't know what's out there.
Oh, here's an interesting one. A biblical Nephilim hybrid. Taking a dark turn, some cryptid believers tie Frogman to Nephilim, the hybrid offspring of angels and humans in the Book of Enoch. Their unnatural appearance and behavior are signs of ancient forbidden bloodlines surviving in isolated places. You shall not eat a frog of the swamp, for it is an abomination unto you.
It sounds pretty metal, man. Loveland Frogman. I have a feeling. Murder. I don't know. I have that one for the Fuckvale, whatever, metalman. It would be interesting because like there is like, even when I had Dustin Nimoy's on, he's coming back on to show everybody. It's already recorded. I'm just gonna hold on to it for a little bit, but it's a great episode. I let him really dive into some of this stuff, and he was talking about the whole like GMO people, and they're trying to do it now where they did it back then, where they were genetically modifying people and creating like different types of creatures. And you think about like the Chimera type stuff that literally the Chinese government has admitted to, is like creating like these creatures like man, bear, pig. That's why South Park make fun of it, because there was actual legit stories that they were like doing stuff like that. And then the whole idea of cloning, and how do you know what they have for technology? And then there's like, we know they're smashing particles together at CERN. What else are they doing? Like Jeffrey Epstein was obsessed with like eugenics, and supposed to be specifically Ashkenazi genetics and stuff like that. Some of the women have tales about that. Who God knows what they're actually doing. What's Nicholas Picolas? Can you look that up?
That's some host guy.
Oh, okay.
Was
he involved with Jeffrey Epstein?
There's also a theory that after the 2016 sighting, some people felt that the Frogman wasn't spotted by coincidence. He was summoned by the augmented reality app Pokemon Go, a digital portal to a liminal space, glitch in a matrix, or maybe Pokemon knows something we don't. A dimensional slip. The Frogman isn't from here. Another theory suggests that the Frogman is a dimensional traveler. He slipped into our world accidentally through a thin spot near the Little Miami River. That would explain the brief sighting, the strange behavior, and why he never seems to hang around for long. There's another theory that he appears under specific lunar cycles. Some kind of cryptid werewolf. People have theorized that Frogman only manifests during certain lunar phases, particularly heavy rains or storms. The idea, the water activates his energy, or it's when he's allowed to cross over.
Well, they say waterways are often spiritual, like,
Here's an interesting one. This is the last one. A mind-bending theory suggests that the Frogman didn't exist until people started to believe in him. In this view, he is a creature born of collective belief, brought into existence by legend, fear, and repetition. If you think about it long enough, it hops into reality.
Nice. That's a...
All rise for the reptilian anthem.
What's with the weird...
Listen, this is like you come across the Frogman all huddled together.
What's with the weird gay huddle going on over there?
Let me put my arm over here.
What gay? What's gay about it? It's two guys talking in a corner, dude.
Yeah, but...
Why are you such a homophobe? You're always like, oh, that's gay, man. Oh, look at that gay huddle. Look at that gay dog.
Dude, that is so gay.
Yeah, see?
I love gay people, okay?
Yeah, I'm sure you do.
No,
Which is
I'm
why you're a
fine with gay.
homophobe.
Oh, look at the monkey.
You're gonna tell me the monkey's gay.
How do you know he doesn't smoke monkey pole, huh?
I love Jay and Silent Bob, one of my favorite movies of all time. Yeah, that's a good point. Why have we never come across like a massive pile of shit? Like you know, like you think about like Poopy from Frogs probably takes up a lot of stuff.
I mean, yeah.
I don't know. What do you think? What do you think the Frogman is? I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go with my original thought is that Bigfoot is an interdimensional creature. The Frogman exists in a similar type universe. He wanted to come visit this place, much like the Dover Demon that we only saw for like literally like 3 different occasions on the same day. Me and Billy talked about it way back in the day. I think the video had to do editing, so it's on Patreon. That's a fun episode. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the video is on Patreon only. So definitely check that out and support the show on Patreon. And you know, I think that the Loveland Frogman sucked Bigfoot off to get to this reality. I think that the or it'd be really cool, you know, because I was joking about.
Boy, you gotta be gay.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he's gay for Bigfoot. I think it'd be funny if like Bigfoot had the Loveland Frogman on his shoulder, like in Small Soldiers, where that thing just like attacks. You know what I mean? You know, that'd be fucking cool. You know, have it like Bigfoot has him as like a little creature that attacks people. We were joking about this at work because there's a skinny kid named I'm not gonna tell his name even though he wouldn't care. And we were joking about how we're gonna beat up the one kid that works there. And I was like, I'm gonna put him on my shoulders and we're gonna become a Power Ranger type,
like a Megazord.
Yeah, and I was like, he's gonna be on my shoulder just throwing shit at you, like, and he's like, or he's like, well, no, he's like, he would be your brains, you know, I would be like the brute, and then he would control my actions and stuff. So
now,
funny.
Maybe I'm wrong, but you not think that there's something to be said for the idea of, you know, like the Avengers assemble.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Frogman, Bigfoot, Mothman, Dogman.
Should have made you Frogman on the website. You are this is too funny that so if you guys don't know, you can get some new merch. There's a bunch of new merch on the site. We'd appreciate the support. We don't get much money for it, but there's a couple of new fun designs. If you want to bring them up, you could. I can't. As soon as I click the internet, my shit starts slowing down. I gotta figure that out, especially for like the tier lists and stuff. But yeah, we have I don't know if anyone's gonna buy it. I bought it. I thought it was hilarious. It's all 3 of us as cryptids, and we're in like superhero stance. And I got like a glass of whiskey or something. Aaron's got a Heineken, and Billy's got his beer as always. And even his brother was like, "We need to frame this picture of Billy because it makes him look so creepy." But we have new merch on the site, so everybody, the T Public store specifically, and watch for the deals, man. Because like I said, I bought like just over $100 worth of merch, like I think 4 shirts and a sweater for like $100, just over $100. We're not doing a Strange Brew podcast turban. That's never gonna happen. I don't want to even cater to anyone like that.
Who wants to hear my new AI movie idea?
Okay, Frogman can unwrap the mysteries if he can find his way onto my shoulders. Yeah, is Slenderman in that team, or is he one of the bad guys? Billy is Slenderman in the.
You're after skipping over something there, Tom. Somebody's asking for a piece of merch.
Where I know I said I'm not catering to turbans. No Strange Brew podcast turbans. We're not doing that. But soon, maybe.
What about one of those shits that you put on? I don't even know what it's called, but you can only see your eyes.
The burkas or the.
Yeah, one of them with Strange Brew.
Slenderman
okay,
is a
so-
tweaker, man. It's so funny. Bring up that image, please, if you can, of Billy. It'll be so funny. Look up
which
T
image?
Public. I'll try to do it. It'll freeze my
What is it?
screen. Okay, let me hear you.
Yeah, you're already fucking up. You're already fucking up.
I got it. I'm doing it now. Yeah. T Public Strange Brew Podcast. Hijabs, yeah.
T-shirts by Strange Brew
Yeah,
Podcast.
Santa for one. Oh yeah, Santa will deliver you with the strangeness. It's gonna come right down your chimney, make your child sit on his lap so he can molest them.
Billy is fucking horrifying in this image.
It does look scary. You look hilarious. Me and you look pretty funny. It looks well, but I'd grab the Strange Brew burqa if it was 100% cotton. Strange Brew burqa. Look, there's a deal on right now. Yeah, look at Billy's face. Frightening, man. It's just so funny because it matched his face so well. Like, cause he is the Slenderman. Look at that. There's a deal on right now. They have so many good deals on. $16 for a t-shirt. Like I said, I bought 5 things: a sweater, 4 shirts, and it was like $120 or something like that. So go check out the site. There's lots of new stuff. I just added more recently, actually. I like that true crime one. So fun stuff. That one's my favorite. The guy smoking the cigarette, I bought that one. I'm gonna rep that everywhere. You can get a class horror cast design. I actually really enjoy that one. That one's cool. I want to get the beer. I want that one sometime. That one's cool. Or Bigfoot just laughing his ass off. So I have my favorite shirt to wear is right there. Fuck communism. That's literally my favorite shirt to wear. My wife doesn't let me out of the house wearing it, but I do enjoy it. People give me weird looks all the time. There's like a fuck the World Economic Forum shirt. I'm actually creating a new fuck the New World Order shirt. I want a fuck the government shirt. Well, you know what? We'll make up would you fuck the Loveland Frog? I fucked the Loveland Frogman and all I got was this stupid t-shirt.
Oh, I'm going to create that tonight.
So
you know what I was actually thinking of the other day, and I think I might actually do this from now on for both of our shows. I think I'm going to exclusively only wear t-shirts that we make or for either of our shows.
That's what I do. I pretty much do that.
Yeah.
I'm going
to do that now, though. I'm going to stop buying other stuff, and I'm going to be like, you know what? I'm going to just wear stuff that we
And you
make.
need to update your stuff because I created a bunch of cool ass merch designs for Class Orcast, like really cool stuff. Billy the Clown, yes, that was one of my favorite. If people have not listened or definitely watched the Halloween special with Billy as Clown Trudeau, it is by far some of the funniest stuff that we've ever done. Just because I was on mushrooms and it was so funny. Yeah, it's the burqa. It's got 100% polyester. I don't give a fuck if it's comfortable. So who knows?
Any movie idea?
Okay, let's hear your movie idea to end this.
Maybe we'll make it a TV show or an animated series. So we're going to call it Cryptid Command Legends Unleashed.
Did you just think of this?
No, this is AI.
Okay.
They were myths. There were warnings. Now they're humanity's last hope. Concept. In a world spiraling into chaos, climate collapses, interdimensional rifts, militarized AI, the last line of defense isn't a government task force. It's a team of creatures from our deepest nightmares and strangest folklore. Long thought to be urban legends, these beings are very real and they've been hiding until now. When a global paranormal event starts rewriting the laws of physics and reality itself, the cryptids are forced out of the shadows to protect the species that once feared them. So in it, right, we have, this is the roster that AI has created.
Okay.
Frogman.
Could you get it to make an image while you're reading it?
I guess.
Yeah, just, okay, read it.
Wait, give me 1 sec.
Shut up, bitch! Damn, son.
Too funny.
Okay, so we have the Frogman.
Okay.
Who is the swamp tactician. His role is recon stealth and amphibious ops. Traits: expert in urban infiltration, high agility, rumored to wield biotech wand of unknown origin. The vibe: imagine Yoda meets Jason Bourne.
That's hilarious.
With a splash of moist sass.
That's so funny.
Bigfoot, the titan of the trees. Muscle, survivalist, tank. Traits are super strength, near invisibility in forest terrain, and low-tech wisdom. Vibe, the Hulk plus Ron Swanson in a silent protective edge.
That sounds awesome.
Mothman, role, aerial scout, future sight, and psychological ops. Can sense impending disasters. Wings cause electromagnetic disturbances and may exist outside linear time. The vibe, a tragic force, part angel, part Lovecraft. The Wendigo they have in this.
Oh, we have to. I want to redo that actually soon.
Role, berserker, last resort. Traits, supernatural hunger, ice-based.
Yeah, he's the last resort. They bring him in. Bring out the Wendigo.
Vibe,
it's like option. A native guy. The native guy comes out and he like smokes like a peace pipe, and then it just like appears. And maybe he smokes the peace pipe, and then he turns into the Wendigo after he eats his family.
So vibe, the nuclear option, used sparingly, extremely unstable, possibly cursed.
Yeah.
We have the Jersey Devil, field leader, aerial combat. Traits, winged, fire-breathing, tactical strategy with ties to occult forces. Vibe, Batman if he smelled like sulfur and shrieked at sunrise.
What is his shriek sound like? It's just like you hear like you're like whoosh, you hear like wings, and you hear.
So the tagline for this, I'm surprised this actually gave us the tagline and everything. Legends don't die, they evolve.
Wow.
And the plot tease is an ancient cryptid-eating AI called Project Myth Eater is hunting folklore creatures to wipe them out and erase their influence from human consciousness. Its goal, collapse the boundary between reality and logic to create a fully rational world where belief itself is outlawed. Only the cryptid command stands in its way, and they'll have to work together despite decades of mistrust, near immortality, and wildly conflicting vibes to save both the world and their place in it.
Wow. Did it make you an image?
It did actually. Wait, let me.
Yes. Everybody watching, make sure to like, comment on the main page, send it to your friends, send it to your grandma, all that good stuff. Like, support the show as best as you can. Yeah, you think about it. Would the Frogman have poisonous skin? Because that'd be crazy. Because like a neon color, right? And then you could like you touch him and you like just stroke it. He's like Rogue from the X-Men. You know, can't have sex. You can't have sex with him, Aaron.
Weird yellow laser beam eyes.
Aaron dies having sex with the Frogman. He's like, it was my last. It's on my bucket list. I had to do it.
I don't care.
Oh, so funny. You guys seen the cryptid movie with Joe Bob Briggs? No, actually not. I would check that out. I'm not a huge fan of Joe Bob Briggs, but I would check out that cryptid movie.
The concept, right? So here's the thing.
I would do it better.
I love the concept of that show, and I would love to be able to host something like that, like us, to be like kind of horror hosts or whatever, and have that cool hangout community thing.
Yes.
I just can't get into Joe Bob at all. It's
I tried.
And it's too structured, and it's too like, Joe Bob's 5 cans of beer out of 5 cans of beer and all that. I just, fuck off.
I feel like we could do a better job, and I'll just get plastered on the show. I do mushrooms. That'd be even more fun for the audience. Don't forget the Frogman does forget to wear condoms. He'll probably give you warts. Aaron just comes out and you're all like covered in warts and shit. And
like that image I showed you from the Frogman movie.
Yeah.
Where the dude has all like warts all over.
Okay, bring up the image of the superhero assembly. That's pretty cool. That's actually pretty. Cryptids assemble. Frogman looks dope, man.
I know, right? Frogman looks so good.
You gotta save that and post it on the page or something. That's so.
I swear to God, I'm gonna make that movie.
That's Slenderman up there.
Yeah, I noticed that.
They didn't even mention him.
He's just there as well. Hello, I'm here.
Just hides in the background, much like Billy. Doesn't do much. He just stands there and comments on everyone. Like, you should be doing it this way. And they're like, shut the fuck up, Slenderman. Go assault a child or something. Go get a child that killed another child again. Because I told Billy had that costume, and I think his girlfriend got rid of it, his ex. So I was like, I want to do Slenderman. I've had it written out. And he's like, I don't have the costume anymore. I was like, the whole point why we wanted you to keep that after the Halloween episode was so we can do thing. I'll look. I'm fucking Fred Durst.
It's just one of those days. Frogman's fucking gay.
Yeah.
I love the biscuit so much.
I know you saw them live, didn't you?
So
fucking
good.
90s shit where you just fucking take your hair and just...
Dude, it was so good though. I literally felt like that. Like the I've seen him twice in a year, and like every time it's like it's all our age group. That's the best part. So like I literally feel like I was like, wow, I'm a kid again. It's the 90s. Wow.
I know. It's changed a lot. You gotta watch Y2K. It's kind of good. There's some woke stuff in it. But it's a fun, just fast-paced, like
They
stupid
have to put
comedy.
it in
horror.
everywhere, don't they?
Well, yeah, it's of course. It's because who owns Hollywood?
Fred Durst
and-
is in it also.
Yes, he's in it. So I want you to watch it so we can just do an hour on it for your show. It'd be something very easy to talk about. And that's why I'm saying everybody go support Class Horrorcast, even on Rumble. We're on Rumble. So Class Horrorcast on Rumble and YouTube, all that good stuff. There's some pretty good, there's episodes that Aaron hasn't released that are really good. We just did one on the movie Men, which is pretty weird. And we dove into the social constructs, you could say, of some of the stuff that's been going on in the world. But it's very good. We're pushing for some really obscure things on that show, and we're going to be getting better. But I'm also going to convince Aaron to do things that I want to do also, because I have plenty of ideas. Off-brand movies, there's so many of those.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Human Centipede with Billy at some point. I would love to do that.
we have 28 days / weeks later
yes.
episode coming. There's going to be a Frogman movie episode.
You just released the remake of Friday the 13th, and I totally forgot. I was like, wow, that's...
I know, right?
I was like, sick.
Yep.
That's cool. Yeah, that just came
Nightmare
out.
on Elm Street remake.
Yeah, that was
A
horrible.
lot of shit there we have.
We talked a lot of shit on that movie. But yeah, it was a fun time. So definitely check out Class Horrorcast on, support both shows, especially if you enjoy movies, because there's some cool stuff that I want to get to, especially off-brand topics. But for all the people that watch this live, it will also go on audio at some point. But I have plans to do. We're gonna do tier lists. I have a lot of cool ideas. Like I really want to do tier lists. We might start off with one more like true crime based, but I think it'd be fun because then people can participate in the chat. We'll try to advertise it. So if you do watch the lives and you see this after, make sure to go to Instagram and subscribe. To follow, on Instagram. I'll try to even do it on YouTube, and eventually, hopefully, Rumble does posts where you can coming in 2 days or whatever. But I'm super excited. I have lots of ideas, and as I said, you guys won't really notice, but I'll be off for a month fairly soon. The time is getting to the crunch point. By the time the audio listeners hear this episode, I will have my baby girl will have been born. So I have lots of stuff that we got in the works. I got lots of ideas, lots of things I'm writing out. We have episodes we're sitting on. So, support the best you can. Awesome stream. Tom and Aaron, have a good night. Yeah, I appreciate everyone that tunes in. All the people that watch this on YouTube, I see you. Just it takes 2 seconds to like things, share things. You think your friend might like it, or your weird coworker. God knows, right? Your hippie weed smoking aunt. Just show everybody you can. MILF, I love the Frogman, so dumb.
But I also, hold on, I love MILFs as well, like real MILFs.
Yes, the single one.
Real actual MILFs.
Go find them. But you need to make more babies. You're like, no.
I already kind of had one of my own, and
it's true. Don't say that. You love your child. I know you do.
Oh no, I love my child.
Yeah, I just don't love the other aspects.
Yes, the MILF.
Yeah, I guess that's true. But yeah, I've got lots of ideas, and I'm really excited. So make sure to, if you're on audio, leave a good review, leave a like, comment on Spotify. Stuff like that is now available. So we appreciate the support. Everybody, we love you. We love all the fans. We appreciate you being here. Whoever you are, wherever you come from, wherever you are, we love you. Even if I don't agree with all your lifestyle choices, thank you for being a fan.
These like frog hands.
Yeah, I guess I can't do that. Billy's like, you
frog
can't do.
fingers.
We're gonna make a new one. Where you go like this.
It's like he has fucking special needs. He's like,
so dumb. I enjoyed this a lot, and this will be cool for the show, the chats on the stage. We'll do that definitely during the tier list, which maybe after, if we can figure it out, maybe after the next episode that I want to do, we can mess around with the tier list, because it just sounds like a lot of fun. You know, it just sounds like it gives us the ability to rant a little more, you know, doing some of the tier list stuff. So I'm going to convince Aaron to do on his side for movies and stuff. So, all right, tell us, keep ranting on. Support the show. We love you guys. Stay strange out there.
Everyone follow me on Instagram. Get me to 8,000 followers, please.
Yes, get me to 7,000. Now if you want to follow me on Instagram, I'm at at Reptilian X. I'm building up an audience there talking about controversial things. It seems like people are really into that stuff right now. Like, yeah, everyone knows what I'm talking about. But yeah, follow us everywhere. I appreciate the support.
Long live Frogman.
Long live Frogman.